Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to my channel usmancode. If you want to consume a RESTful API, you should definitely consider Refit for that purpose. Why? It gives a lot of features out of the box. What I mean by that, it's built on the top of HTTP client and you just need to provide the service requirement in the form of interface and the data model. Everything else will be covered by this amazing library. How? We will start by implementing a get endpoint today, and we will further explore put, post, and delete functions in coming videos. So I will start by creating a model. In this project, this is a console application. We can use this library in any kind of .NET project. To start with, I will be consuming that refit library in a console application. I will create folder with name models, and inside that one, I will be adding a brand new class. This will be post model, and in the post model, I will need two props, ID and the title. All right, so this is our model class. Another folder will create to gather our service requirements, and I can name it services. And by looks of it, seems like it could be a post service. So for that one, I will be creating a interface. I post service, and for that one, we will need the refit package. For the package one, we will go to the Nugget package manager, and I will search for refit here, and we can consume first result. And let's go back to our interface. Here we need to define the endpoint. I will use get from refit, and my endpoint will have slash post for this one, and that endpoint will return a task of list of post model, and I can name it like get all. So that's all we need: interface and the model, what kind of data we want to pull from the API. That's it, and that's the beauty of refit. The other thing will be only the configuration. So for the configuration one, I will start with var, and that would be around refit config, and I will use REST service from refit, and we need REST service for what is our interface. I post service, we need to configure our interface, provide our interface, that this interface we want to communicate with the particular endpoint, and the endpoint in our case is our local running API. So how to create the API endpoint or the RESTful API on the fly, we will cover that in a separate video. There is a very simple way to create and run a full-fledged RESTful API within few minutes. So currently I am running that API on this endpoint, and if I can share you with the localhost 3000 slash posts, so now we are currently getting those posts from that endpoint. So let's go back to our solution. Here we have that configuration done, and next thing will be to pull those posts from that endpoint, and for that one I will be using refit config dot get all, the method we declare in our iPost service interface, and because it returns us a task, we need to await it, and to enable that one we need to update our main method. So we will be looping through the post, and we will printing its title. Let's give it a run. You can see that all the titles are printed, our title, and if you see the browser, we have our title printed in that response as well. So this is how quickly we can implement a RESTful endpoint. We can consume it in our console application, and the same method will be applied for our web application as well. Again, let me conclude and recap what we have done. First of all, we need a model, what kind of response we are coming from the APIs. Currently we are getting the post, and a post can have an ID and a title. The next thing is the interface. What are the different endpoints that service providing? Currently we are only getting the post, but for the put, post, and delete, we will be declaring those endpoints here. Only declaration will be required. And the third thing is the consumption. So we configure that one here, that REST service from the refit, and we provided the base URL of that endpoint, the API, and with that configuration, now we can consume our declared method from that iPost service. So this is a simple three-step process. In case of any questions or queries, do ask me in the comments, and I will be creating few more videos on Refit to explore the other RESTful methods and also how to configure through dependency injection that REST service. Instead of initializing here and declaring here, we will be registering that in the DI and we will consuming whenever and wherever required. I hope you like the video, and please do share and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one.